Hello friends, and welcome to your December 2022 TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene. I hope you are well and I hope you are excited for December TarotScopes as I am excited to start recording them. So just to give you a little bit of housekeeping as to what it is, how it works, and what you can expect over the next couple of minutes. This intro, everybody gets the same intro just to save me from repeating things 12 times. I record 12, and I'm showing four fingers, I mean, I don't know. I record 12 readings using the same structure, the same method, the same process, the same tarot decks, etc. I record 12, and I want to show four fingers again. I don't know what's up with me with that. So I record 12 videos, one for Aries, going all the way through to Pisces. I stick this intro at the beginning of each of them, and I release them, giving you insight into the month ahead. We are obviously into the last month of 2022, and it is super exciting to be at this place. So what I've done, instead of our standard kind of TarotScope structure, I've actually created a bit of a spread that's going to help you to see what was the lesson of 2022. Have you achieved that? What do you still need to do to overcome it? What do we need to take with us into 2023? What do we need to leave behind? And a couple of other things, okay? So I've sort of thrown together this ensemble of a spread of a reading, and I'm going to do exactly the same reading for each sign of the zodiac. If you're on YouTube and you open up the description of this video, you will find links to all the other zodiacs. So if you want to watch for your friends or your partners or your children, or somebody, your worst enemy, to see what it is that they need to deal with or what they are going through, you can do that. So all of them will be in the description below. And you can just go through and watch as many as you need. I do encourage everybody, when I do the month ahead TarotScopes like this, I do encourage you partway through the month to sort of come back and just do a quick check-in. All right, I know I do TarotScopes on a weekly basis, but then is categorized by element. So for the month ahead, I like to do full videos for each sign of the zodiac. I also, when I start the recordings, I set the intention that it be applicable to your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. So if you do know what your things are, if you do know what your alignments are, you are welcome to watch all of those. So yeah, whatever is applicable and appropriate to you. So I do generally just do the 3, sun, moon, and rising, because then it just gets too complicated if we go any further than that. So when I'm shuffling and when I'm doing the videos, I do set those intentions. I am going to work with 2 amazing tarot decks for this particular reading. The first one I'm going to work with is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Now, oopsie, I nearly dropped it there. This deck is just amazing. Let me do that, then the camera will hopefully focus. The artwork is just gorgeous. The artwork is just beautiful. And it's got quite a whimsical fantasy type of feel to it. And then to pair it with, I'm pairing it with the Tarot of the Hidden Realm, which is just as gorgeous, just as beautiful. I hope the camera's focusing because I can't see. And just as whimsical, just as fantasy related. So I thought these two will actually work so well together to do the reading. Like I said, I've got a whole lot of questions written out. I am also going to include an oracle deck as well. So, it's going to give you a lot of insight in how best to end off 2022. We are then obviously looking forward at 2023. So when I do the January TarotScopes, which I will release sort of the last week of December, in that last week of December, I will release the January TarotScopes, and there we're going to look forward at the whole of 2023. So this one for December, we're basically looking backwards. We're looking at 2022. What do you still need to achieve? What was the lesson? Have you done it? How are you doing? What do you need to leave behind? And what do you need to take ahead with you? So I do hope that you are going to enjoy the readings. If you do enjoy the reading, all I ask from you is a thumbs up. I love comments, so if you do want to leave me a little comment, that would always be greatly appreciated. I do read them all. I don't always get a chance to reply, but I do absolutely read every single one of them. And if you would like to leave a show of gratitude, you can. Just over here somewhere on the screen will be a super thanks button that will allow you to leave a a donation, a tip, if you may, a way of showing gratitude for the insight that you have received during the video. So I'm now going to flip the camera around so that you can see the table and that you don't necessarily have to see my face, because I do need a lot of space to show you all the cards. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get started with your zodiac. I'll see you there. Cancerians, let's have a look and see what December 2022 has in store for you. So giving the cards just a little bit of shuffle. So I am using the Tarot of the Hidden Realm as the main deck. I swapped it up a little bit. I do have the other tarot deck and another oracle deck just off camera, which I will use at the end of the reading just to get additional clarity and info. But I decided I wanted to use this particular one as our main deck. So Cancerians, we have 1 month left of this year. So this reading is really just how to make the most of what's left of 2022, how to make the most of the energies that are coming up, and so that we can move into 2023 with confidence and clarity. So I'm giving the deck a good shuffle. Once I've shuffled it, I'm just going to lay it on the side of the table here, and I'm just going to draw cards straight off the top to answer all the questions that I have to answer or have to ask. Right, let's cut the deck, positioning them over there that they're out of my way, and let's get started. So Cancerians, card number 1. What do you need to leave behind in 2022? What is an energy that we do not want to take into 2023? So what do we need to leave behind? It could be a situation, a circumstance, an energy, a thought process. What are you needing to leave behind in 2022? And here we have the 10 of Cups. You know, this is a bit of a tricky one, difficult one, because 10 of Cups is normally such a beautiful card. 10 of Cups is the card of family, of togetherness, of, you know, having everything that your heart desires and so much more. It's the card of, you know, taking care of family, being supportive, having a beautiful, beautiful environment. Now, I struggle because why is that something that we need to leave behind? But what I'm hearing from Spirit is it's not so much family, okay? We're certainly not saying leave family behind, but what Spirit is saying to you, Cancerians, is leave behind the need to take care of everybody all the time. That is what needs to be left behind. This need that you have deep within yourself to always be the one taking care of everybody, to always be the one that nurtures and provides for. And so that is the energy that needs to be left behind. It's not about abandoning your family. I am in no way, in no way encouraging anybody to abandon their family or to do any of that. But this is definitely saying it's that need or that desire to always be the one to take care of others. That is the energy that we need to leave behind in 2022. On the other hand, what energy should you be taking forward into 2023? So let's have a look, Cancerians. What should you be taking into next year? We have the 9 of Swords. Sure, this is interesting. So if you look at this lady, okay, it is clearly a terrible environment to be in. She is in a terrible environment. She is hiding behind a tree that is not giving her any support, that is not helping her in any way, okay? And she's suffering. It's hard. She's learning and living and experiencing a really, really tough journey. Now, we have this owl across the top there, and it looks like the owl is actively flapping its wings. And I say that because we have all these feathers that are sort of falling everywhere. But can you see how she is so focused? She is so determined on what's ahead of her that she is paying the owl and all these feathers absolutely no mind at all. So she is focused, she is determined, she recognizes that it's difficult, she recognizes that she is in a very precarious situation, but she is remaining steadfast in her action, in her behavior, in what it is that she wants to do. She recognizes the obstacles, but she's also got very little fear. Very little fear. So the energy to take forward into next year, it's about you having that focused attention. Here, it's about too busy focusing on everybody else that you haven't focused on yourself. And Spirit is saying going into, you already have a little bit of this, okay? So at the time of watching this video, December 2022, you're probably torn, jumping between these two people, where you're so focused on everybody else's needs, wants, and desires, and you're providing and taking care of and supporting, etc. But then there's also this part of you where once you've set your mind to something, you have this precision focus, and you don't really let it. Doesn't matter how bad you're feeling. It doesn't matter how overwhelmed you're feeling. It doesn't matter how hard and difficult it is. You are focused on achieving everything that you need to, even though it's difficult and hard. So this is what we're taking forward. This is what we're leaving behind. So it's about shifting the energy from focusing on others to being more focused on yourself, your current situation, and the best way out of it. Right, so Cancerians, still doing a comparison between this year and next, 2022 and 2023. The next question that I'm asking is, what has been the overall lesson for you of 2022? So what has been the overall lesson of 2022 for all Cancerian energy? And here we have the Sun card. I love that. Doesn't this card just make you happy? And you know, I'm seeing the differences, or sorry, not differences, the similarities between this card and this one. And yet this is what we need to leave behind, because the Ten of Cups is about family. It is about taking care of your family. And in this particular Sun card, that's exactly what she's doing. Here is the mummy, here is her child, and she is having an experience and teaching the child about, you know, plants and nature and herbs and whatever. But they are out in the sun. We've got butterflies of transformation and everything. So the lesson of 2022 for you Cancerians was about finding your bliss, finding your happiness, finding the thing that actually matters most to you. And the experiences that you would have had during the year would have questioned this, would have created all sorts of experiences for you. But the overall lesson of this year has been about finding happiness. You've been looking at finding your happiness in the lives, eyes, hearts, and minds of other people. You've also tried doing your own thing, and you're struggling between these two. So the overall lesson of 2022 for all Cancerian energy has been about finding happiness. Finding happiness. And I don't mean superficial, casual happiness. Here, I mean like real heart happiness. That has been your lesson of 2022. We don't know yet whether you've achieved that, but that's the lesson of 2022. I want to jump into 2023 now, and I want to ask, what is the lesson of 2023 for all Cancerian energy? And here we have, the High Priestess, another major arcana card. We still have all the butterflies coming through, but we've gone from the bright yellow to the blues in the coloring. So the High Priestess, she is the card of self. Let me explain that for a second. Okay. High Priestess, she has inner knowledge, inner knowing, inner understanding. She doesn't ask questions to anybody else. She does not look externally for validation, for answers, for confirmation, or anything. She trusts and believes only in herself. So if she's got a question, if she doesn't understand something, she doesn't look anywhere else except within her own heart space, because she knows that she carries the answers to her own happiness. Now, as a lesson of 2023, the High Priestess is saying about trusting the self, believing in the self, focusing on the self, and not relying on anybody externally to make you happy, to fulfill your life, or to give you the happiness that you've been searching. This year, we're still going to look at the lesson of 2022, but this year, you've been looking for happiness, looking for that, but maybe you've been looking in all the wrong places. Okay, maybe you've been looking in all the wrong places. So the lesson of 2023 of next year is going to be about learning to trust the self and to not look for answers and validations externally. Okay, let's go back to current year, because let's be honest, December is not done yet. 2022 is not finished yet. We still have an entire month to go. So this is your lesson. Your lesson for 2022 was finding happiness. Cancerians, how have you done? How have you done? Did you find happiness? Let's have a look, because this card is going to answer whether you've completed this lesson or not. So let's see, did you complete your lesson of 2022? We have the King of Pentacles, and look, we have family again. So there we had the mommy and the daughter, and here we have the daddy and the daughter, and they are still outdoors, they are still in nature, and they are enjoying and the experience together. So the King of Pentacles, in answer to the question of, have you learned the lesson? Have you completed this lesson? I think this is telling you that it's still in progress, because and I love how the mommy is facing this way, the daddy is facing that way, so it's almost like they're looking at each other, isn't it? So I think the King of Pentacles is saying, how have you done with the lesson of 2022? I do think you've done well. I do think that you have achieved a lot in finding out, determining what your happiness is, what it is that makes you happy. But I also think this is telling you that it is still in progress. You are still enjoying, searching, and appreciating, learning what it is that you appreciate. So we have shifted. And with both of these, the focus is not on the child. The focus is on you. What are we leaving behind? The focus on the child, the focus on the everybody else in your family, whether it be a parent, a sibling, a child, a friend, a colleague, a whatever. This is what we're leaving behind, this need to always be everything to everyone all the time. Okay, so Cancerians, that's what we're leaving behind. We're taking into the next year that we need to stand on our own. We need to do things for ourselves. We need to be more focused, and we need to start trusting and believing in ourselves more. So, next card, Cancerians. What is the new energy that is coming through for you in December 2022? So new energy in December 2022 for Cancerians, we have got Justice. Sure, she means business. Can you see that? I actually want to do a comparison here because it's the same person. Look at this. Just look at this. It's the same person. Her hair is up there. Maybe her hair is down there. Her clothing looks a bit tattered and torn there versus here, but we've still got the feathers coming through. Look at it. There's the feathers, there's the feathers. So it's almost like you've been a little bit uncertain as to whether you've actually found yourself, whether you actually know what's going on. And the new energy coming through for December is you, like, it comes into play. Suddenly you're there. Suddenly you've got it. Suddenly you're feeling more stronger, more capable, and more aware of yourself, and suddenly feeling a lot better about everything around you. So the new energy coming in is about you actually finally, for the first time in a long time, recognizing and understanding what it is that you should be doing and what it is that you should not be doing. So it's almost like this Justice card is feeding into those two and helping you to recognize what to leave behind and what to take forward. The Justice card is also bridging the gap between focusing on unconditional love and happiness and focusing on your own needs, wants, and desires. This Justice card is this very slim line between the two. All right, so Cancerians, moving those cards, excuse me, so moving those cards out of the way, I now have the other tarot deck in my hand. I'm going to give this deck a shuffle, and Cancerians, what I'm looking for here is just anything else that Spirit feel you need to know about the month of December 2022. Anything that they want to elaborate on, or anything that they want to confirm, or anything new that maybe I missed that needs to come through for you for December 2022 for Cancerian energy. Okay, cutting the deck. Card number 1 for you, here we have the 7 of Challenges. And card number 2 is the 6 of Challenges. Oh, interesting. 7 of Challenges and the 6 of Challenges. So Challenges in traditional tarot is the suit of swords. So here we have the Justice with the sword, and you didn't have any, and we had the 9 of swords over there. But can you see how the artwork just blends? I mean, that's why I really like to pair these two decks together. If it wasn't for the titles across the bottom, you would almost not notice that they're from a different deck. So let's start off with our first one here. So here we have the 7 of Challenges, the 7 of Swords. When you see a fox, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Do you immediately imagine that foxes are very quick to take advantage of a situation? They're quite sly, they're quite conniving. You know, these are words that we use to describe a fox. And now look at what's going on. So here is somebody's house, somebody's caravan, somebody's little holiday accommodation. There is their fire that they've just cooked their food on and so on. They are obviously inside. You can see the light is on, which means that they've just gone in for the night. These foxes have arrived. This one's taken a green bag in his mouth and he's running off with it. He's taken a teacup. I mean, what is a fox going to do with a teacup? But he doesn't think about that. He's just like, oh, let me take it. And he's taken, I forget what that thing is called, musical instrument. And again, what is the fox going to do with any of these things? So what we have over here is foxes being an animal of opportunity. When they see an opportunity, they just go for it. They don't think about it. They don't analyze it. They don't strategize. It's just like, oh, let me do that, okay? So whether that is right or wrong is up for discussion, is up for debate. But in this particular case, it is about seeing an opportunity, grabbing an opportunity, running with it, and no overanalyzing or over-questioning. Now, Cancerians, I know that you are the thinkers. I know that you overanalyze everything, and I know that you are... You have an element of spontaneity about you, but it's thought out and controlled spontaneity. It's not just, oh, opportunity, go for it, okay? And this is what Spirit is saying to you. In the month of December, you need to learn how to be more spontaneous. Because remember I was saying that we haven't quite completed this lesson of finding happiness. And the only way that you're going to do that is by being more spontaneous, grabbing opportunity as it presents itself, and not allowing yourself to be stuck up the tree with a bunch of wolves trying to eat you alive. You know, in this particular case, she found herself in a bit of a difficult situation, and in order to protect herself, in order to save herself, she climbed up a tree. Because the tree was there, the tree was available, the tree was spur of the moment, and it was a quick solution to her challenge of being chased by wolves, so she climbed up the tree. But, like, I don't know, but this wolf down here, he certainly looks like he's climbing the tree. He certainly looks like he's still going to get to her. She is obviously in a state of panic. So, December 2022, for all Cancerians, you do need to learn to take advantage of opportunities as they arrive, as they present themselves, as they show themselves. You need to not be focusing on other people, not be focusing on everybody else's needs, wants, and desires. And if you find yourself in hot water, don't panic, because that's what that card is there, is telling you not to panic if you find yourself in hot water, okay? Don't panic if you find yourself in hot water. Use what's available to you. I mean, she is holding, let me just show you this in her hand here. Okay, can you see this mushroom? I'm going to call it a mushroom. She's obviously just picked it somewhere, and maybe that's what the wolves are after. She's imagining the worst, because Cancerians, that's what we do. We tend to imagine the worst. So if she just lets go of the mushroom and she throws the mushroom down, maybe the wolves will take the mushroom and run, because maybe they're just foxes in disguise. Oh, I love that. All right, so Cancerians, this is Spirit saying to you, in the month of December, you need to react quickly. You need to take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves. You need to not be concerned about other people, not be concerned about always doing the right thing either, okay? But sometimes you just need to react. Sometimes you just need to respond. And instead of always imagining the worst, instead of always imagining that you've got yourself in a really precarious situation, you need to be a little bit, I'm going to call it conniving, a little bit fox-like yourself, and realize that if you throw that down, it may scare them off, chase them away. It may be what they're looking for, and that they're actually not after you at all. Okay, so Cancerians, I have another deck over here. This is the Oracle deck that I want to work with, and it is the Divine Energy Oracle, which is such a beautiful deck. I'm going to give it just a quick little shuffle. I'm looking for just a single card, just to finish off the reading, just to tie it all together, just to put it all into perspective for all of us out there. Cancerian energy, December 2022. What is the last message that Spirit have? Okay. Taking that one, let's have a look. I don't think I can say anything more. I don't think I can say any more. You know, It's clear that love is what 2022 is all about. But you've been focusing on the wrong aspects of what love is. Our lesson of 2023 is learning how to trust and love yourself. December, these are the December cards, okay? You may find yourself needing to react and respond quite quickly. You are going to find yourself torn between what's right and what's wrong because we're still struggling with this. But if you just focus on loving you first, and then you can focus on somebody else, but start off learning how to love yourself. I know, Cancerians, I can hear all your thoughts. I can hear all of you right now going, oh, but what about this and what about that? No, Cancerians, just learn to love yourself in the month of December. All right, friends, with lots of love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.